Hello. Hello, Sopranos. How are we doing today? Hello, Joe, Annalisa, Val. Nice to see you. And hi, Mark. I hope we're all doing well. Got a lovely rehearsal ahead of us today, and the sun is shining, as you say in Manchester. It's beautiful. Hooray! Hooray, hooray. Hello, hello. Hi, Rosina. It's good to have you with us. And today we will be starting with the Sanctus as well. Starting with the Sanctus. Yes, I enjoyed yesterday's rehearsal a lot. I really did. I thought we made a lovely start on the end of the work and just kind of felt settled with it all. Hi, Anna. Yes, it's bound to be lovely. It's a little bit calmer today. Some slower movements to finish the work. Maybe a little bit of recapping slotted in the middle. But overall, calm. And after this, I'm going to walk outside in the sun. After the alto session, that is, before I scare Mark. I'm not going anywhere after this. After the next one, after this. Hi, Angela. Afternoon, afternoon. Hello, Heather. Yes, me too, me too. I agree. I agree. And I'm very much looking forward to Friday as well, to just sing through all of the choruses and to just kind of see what we've achieved over the last 5 weeks. Oh, emojis! Hooray! Annalisa, that's great! Hi, Caroline. Oh, bless you, Anna. I was actually going to do a very kind of short section on that today, on the fast part of Et Resurrexit, just slowly again with me on the piano, literally just straight through, but slowly on the piano, just as a recap. Yeah. Oh, Angela, that's great. That's lucky. Hi, Tessa. Oh, it is so lovely when the sun comes out. It completely changes my mood, I'm sure. It's so nice. So nice. I love just looking and seeing crisp. The trees look so crisp and the sky is so blue. It just looks so nice. And even though it's quite chilly, it makes me want to be outside as well. So that's what I shall do later. Val, I'm very happy to hear that there's no builder on the premises today, although I do like the idea that you're serenading your builder. Hi, Anna from Portugal. Oh, I bet it's a lot sunnier and warmer there. Hi, Dorothy. Hello. That's good, Anna. Well, yes, I will make sure I think we'll do that in the middle of the rehearsal today. Oh, Dorothy, I'll have to do. I'm on my big computer, but maybe if I do a live stream on my laptop, we can do a tour of my new house. I'm hoping that my new house live streams will look fairly similar to this with a blank wall behind me. So you probably won't notice the difference when I do move, but maybe I'll do a special episode tour of my house. Hi, Denise. Oh, that's annoying. That's frustrating. But it's good that you can be there on Friday. That's nice. Ah, a bit of rain for Caroline. That's annoying. It is spirit lifting, isn't it, Tessa? I totally agree. Totally agree. Hi, Jane. Good afternoon. Oh, a t-shirt for Anna in Portugal. That makes me jealous. That makes me jealous. I have got down to t-shirts for running now, which is great. I love that feeling. T-shirts and shorts for running is my favourite change in the running season. Hi, Jackie. Oh, I'm sad that some people here have rain. Hi, Roz. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thanks for spoiling us with your change of dress. Well, just a couple more minutes, but we will wait for everyone to pile on in. And just a reminder that there's a short warm-up today, but not a long warm-up. So you might just want to be warming up your voice up at your end at the moment. Hi, Evelyn. Hello, hello. And we're starting at the Sanctus today. So if you want to also get that ready, that would be great. That's movement 12. And for me, it's on page 180. Hi, Linda. Glad it's sunny where you are. No, it's not really t-shirt weather in Manchester. That would be quite optimistic. Oh, Jane, I'm jealous of your daughter. I'm hoping to get some outdoor swimming in soon, you know, as soon as we're allowed to travel a little bit more. But it's probably a lot warmer in Spain than it is in the UK. Oh, Anna's been busy on Messiah. Oh, Angela, that's great. I'm glad my warm-ups are useful for ABBA. I think I need to be on the ABBA course, to be honest. It just sounds like my absolute cup of tea. Hi, Judith. Hi, Agatha. Hello, hello, hello. I'm very glad that you're having your toilet fixed. Oh, Jane's recording Miserere. Not too easy there. Oh, I think I'm going to have to catch up on the old ABBA, you know. I love ABBA. Absolutely love ABBA. I have to say, I don't like Mamma Mia. I hope I'm not offending anyone. I don't like Mamma Mia. I love ABBA. Dorothy. That's funny. Well, we've just got a minute to go here, and it's lovely to have you all ready and raring to go. It's going to be quite a calm rehearsal today, I hope, but also with a little bit of recapping some of those scarier moments, and just making sure that we finish this work completely this week. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe 5 weeks has happened. It's really strange. Really strange. Yes, please, Mark. I really want to hear ABBA now. I'm desperate. I'm going to have that on in my car, I think. Knowing me, knowing you. There is nothing we can do. Well, I think it's time to start, everyone, after that little ABBA interlude. I hope you're all doing really well. The sun is shining here, it's putting me in a great mood. Whether the sun is shining there or not, I hope you're in a very good mood and ready to finish with the Sanctus and the Agnus Dei today. For our warm-up today, it's just going to be a little warm-up, just 5 minutes or so. And then we're going to recap with a nice sing-through of the Sanctus before we do some detailed work on it. So, without further ado, please may you either stand up or sit up and make sure that you're feeling strong in your lower body, that's supporting your upper body, which is kind of loosely plonked on top. And your lower body is definitely involved in this process. It's definitely helping you and supporting you. And we'll just roll our shoulders backwards 3 times. Hi everyone, hello, hello, hello. And forwards 3 times. 2. And 3. Lovely, lovely. Just shake that out a little bit. And we're going to roll our head back to look up at the ceiling. And keep going down, chin to chest. I've just got loads and loads of ABBA now just piling through my head. And head to one side and back to the other side. Hi Elspeth and Caroline and Roz. Nice to see you all here today. And we're going to breathe in for 4 and out to a sustained but pianissimo, please. Shh for 8. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Shh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now on a please, still pianissimo. So really in control of how you're releasing that air. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely. And finally, you know it, it's the f, but pianissimo. This is really, really hard. It's really hard for it to not go and ping on and off. So try to keep a sustained f, but pianissimo. Here we go. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Poof. Lovely. So, sopranos. From here. Oh, my silly, silly keyboard. Why does it do this to me? Right, let's try again. Now it sustains. I don't understand. Okay, so from here, we're going to have, please, on a j for jardin in French. We're going to have j. And as you ascend, j, I want you to imagine that you're doing a zip up. J, and there's a little bit of kind of, friction. It takes a little bit of work to go j. You have to really work to make it happen, okay? Here we go. 1, 2. So pull the zip up and then it's like your hand pings off at the top. Big bright ah, please. Here we go. 1, 2. Stuff. Well, sopranos, we are going to get straight on now because I have packed in our rehearsal. Even though it's calmer music, I have made sure that we have got a full hour of work to do. So chip chop. Can we look please at the beginning of the Sanctus, and we're going to begin with a recap sing through. but your voice part will be highlighted, okay? So this is movement 12, the Sanctus, and it's page 180 for me, but I know that's a little bit different for others. So just give you a moment to find that. And here it comes. Okie dokie. So there's a nice little recap of the Sanctus for us. Let's go back to the beginning now. And I know we worked really hard on those first 3 chords yesterday, but we'll just recap now that wonderful feeling of the loud breath but the quiet singing, or breathing as if we're going to sing loudly, not a gasp, but a breath, a big, warm, inflated breath, but then we come in pianissimo. The beginning of the Sanctus, please, sopranos. 4, 5, 6, Sanctus. Mezzo forte. Sanctus. Sanctus. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And let's do that just one more time, and I'll give you now a whole bar in. I forgot I said I'd give you a whole bar in so that you can do a nice slow breath at the beginning. So 1, 2. Sanctus, Sanctus, Sanctus. Lovely, 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 lovely. And that final one is just going to be gorgeous and majestic, yeah? And I'd love you just to write these words in your score. When I say a word that's just my kind of adjective for the character, just write it in, because it's the sort of thing that makes your brain ping and go, oh, it's that bit again. Okay, so then we have our wonderful soloists in, and if you can find your next entry, we get to our pleni sunt cieli. So your next entry, pleni sunt cieli. Let's sing this first. 1 and 2. Pleni sunt cieli et terra gloria tua. Now, a couple of things to mention here, sopranos. The first thing is that the pl of pleni needs to be before the beat. Ple, ple, ple. It's just like gloria or credo. We want the consonants before the beat and the air of pleni to be on the beat, please. And remember that the air of pleni is almost going to be like the word air, you know, really wide open. Pleni sunt cieli, air, okay? So there's the first thing to think about. Here we go. 1 and 2. Pleni sunt cieli et terra gloria tua. And when we get to tua at the end, actually, having said be bright and Italian all the time with these vowels, tu, make sure that tu has a real depth to it. Tua, ooh. It's got a satsuma behind your lips. Ooh, not because that gets a bit pointy and a bit nasally. So tua, nice and rich, please, there. Okay. Now then, the next thing to think about with this pleni sunt cieli are these accents, these upside down hats. You have them on every single one of your quavers, which in my edition doesn't happen for the basses, the tenors or the altos. So you have a slightly different articulation, or at least your articulation lasts for the whole bar of this pleni sunt cieli. So we're going to give each one of those notes like a kind of shoulder shrug. Pleni sunt cieli, as if each one takes quite a lot of work to get out, okay? Here we go. 1 and 2 and pleni sunt cieli et terra gloria tua. And we're going to lean and away. Tua, tua. And the is bright, not tua. I'm spending loads of time on this, but this will apply as we go through. So the next thing and the final thing I'm going to ask you to do is to remember that we're doing double consonants in this section, which for those who are kind of new to the idea of double consonants means we're going to pronounce all of them when we could elide. So for example, pleni sunt cieli, we're going to have pleni sunt cieli, sunt cieli. We want to hear the T and the Ch. Pleni sunt cieli, and then et terra, not et terra, not with one T, et terra. And this again will apply throughout. So pleni, please, pleni. Final time is 1 and 2. Pleni sunt cieli et terra gloria tua. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now let's move on. So we go through the next solos, and can you find your next tutti entry on the G natural? Benedictus. Okay, let's just sing this to begin with. Benedictus. 1 and 2 and Benedictus, Benedictus, qui venit, venit in nomine Domini. And we're going to stop there for now. So this section, if you go back to the beginning of the Benedictus, you'll notice it says sotto voce. I've written that again in much bigger letters so that I don't miss it. And the tone of your voice is going to be much like the very beginning of the Sanctus. Very, very, very light and kind of intimate and almost mysterioso. Really, really kind of simple sound. If you can sing without vibrato at this point, this would be a really nice place to try that, to try a really pure and simple tone that just kind of glides over the top of everything else. Sarah sings this so beautifully on the Cantos track. I just think if we can kind of get that floating quality to it, your recordings as well will just be... So this first interval, we were working on this a couple of weeks ago, this feeling that if you give the lower note in a rising interval a little bit of power, that's where you're going to kind of create the power, the energy, and then you're going to just ping with that energy up to the top note, rather than thinking of trying to get to the top note and make the energy happen there. Can you think of actually going and kind of thinking, really, really, really preparing on the G so that the E just lets itself happen. Of course, this all has to happen within a really, really soft sound. It makes it really difficult to float that E, which falls on lots of people's breaks in their voices, certainly for mine, okay? So let's try this. Just this first bar. 1 and 2. And we'll just stop there for now. Now, one thing to think about is that same breath that you were going to take at the beginning of the Sanctus, the same feeling that you're breathing for something that's much bigger or much longer or whatever you want to think, but a bigger breath than you might kind of imagine you need, and then you just happen to sing quietly. I'll give you a full bar again to take that lovely breath. 1, 2. Lovely. Now, if you could just mark this in for me, we have Benedictus, no breath there, please, all the way through, even though there's a comma. And then we get this lovely run of just moving legato quavers for those 2 bars. And it really is all about you here, sopranos. Keeping that super duper smooth, really, really, really soft and smooth. And like you just kind of thought of this, beautiful melody and you just decided to sing it. Can we put this all together now? So from the sotto voce. 1. And even the end of this phrase, dictus, just care for the ctus. Don't make sure it's not too aggressive after that beautiful, beautiful phrase. It's so lovely, isn't it? It's just so beautiful. Now, as we carry on, qui venit, venit in nomine Domini. You can take just the tiniest little lift after the first venit, please. A tiny lift. So qui venit ver. It's so small. Neat ver. It's just to get the T and the next V in really in time. It's not really time to take a breath at all. And notice now that this second phrase, qui venit, has a hairpin. So your first Benedictus was just smooth and soft the whole way. Qui venit, however, is going to go somewhere. Qui venit ver. And that we get to a real forte and then we come away again. Venit in nomine Domini. No breath there, please, at all. So don't breathe after the second venit before in, please. Okay? Okie dokie. I think we've got everything. I think we're armed for this phrase now. So let's go back to Benedictus and let's do all of that now, all together. 1, 2. Benedictus. phrase away. Do, mi, ni, to nothing. Okay, kind of take it backwards. And then it's a real surprise if you do that, you know, a really big diminuendo. When the basses come in, pleni sunt, and then the tenors, pleni sunt, then the altos, pleni sunt, and then you, for your pleni sunt celli, let's hear this one. A 1 and a 2 and pleni sunt celli et terra gloria tua. And of course, here's our first big trap. So the first time we sing pleni sunt celli near the beginning, pleni sunt celli et terra gloria tua. No flat notes. But this time we have all of the flats. Pleni sunt celli et terra gloria tua. So let's watch now all of those flats as we descend. Not too flat. And the common thing with a descending phrase is that it actually goes more flat than it needs to. But we certainly want it to sound flatter than the previous one, okay? So let's have this flat phrase. 1 and 2 and pleni sunt celli et terra gloria tua. And it's just the same, all of the pleni sunt celli that we worked on before in terms of consonants, characteristics, everything like that is exactly the same. It's just that the notes are slightly different. So one more please on this flat version. 1, 2. Pleni sunt celli et terra gloria tua. Nice, 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 nice. So now skip on past the next solos and find your next tutti entry. And we're back to Benedictus. So it's exactly the same here, please, everyone. We go through the 2 Benedictuses without a breath. Sotto voce. 1, 2. Benedictus, Benedictus. Carry on. Qui venit, venit in nomine Domini. Lovely, I'm sorry, my finger did something really random there. But if you go back to the beginning of this Benedictus where we just began, let's just try this first 4 bars first, which is just like the previous Benedictus, and then we'll talk about the next section. 1 and 2. Benedictus, Benedictus. And now, just stopping here, we are now forte immediately, and the basses lead this in because they become forte 2 quavers earlier, but it's really important that we make a nice strong but not aggressive forte sound, please. That it's really rich and warm and inviting, not too kind of, but qui, very majestic. 1, 2, qui venit, venit in nomine Domini. And again, we just come away to nothing and just float that final end. This is also would be a really nice place to practice that trick that we were practicing a couple of weeks ago where we just sang on the vowels. Just to feel how kind of smooth and how pure and legato we can make these lovely, lovely, beautiful lines. Can we do this whole section now? So from that Benedictus, the sotto voce Benedictus, all the way through this new qui venit. 1, 2. Benedictus, Benedictus. Qui venit, venit in nomine Domini. Wow, lovely, lovely, lovely. lovely. Now, then we have a few more solos from the, and I'm going to play the soprano solo now, so if we carry on. Sneaky moment where the sopranos, you need to be really on the ball, because as Charlie finishes nomine domini, we need to be ready. In nomine domini. Okay, so we're absolutely ready at the end of her diminuendo to come in, to be honest, sotto voce again, so just call this sotto voce. And I love that the soloists get quite kind of forte, almost quite frantic in this section, and then the choir just calm everyone down. It's just like saying, there. You know, if you've got a little kitten, oh, it's okay. Love cats. Okay, in nomine domini, please, sopranos. 1, 2, 1. And of course the hat, this time on do, is just a little do, mi. It's just a little expressive lean. It's not going to be do, you know, suddenly. Do, mi. So we must take any sort of articulation like that within its context. Just one more of those, please, sopranos. In 1, 2, 1. Lovely. And then if we carry on, we have some more solos, and you do exactly the same. You come in and you just calm everything down after the soprano solo. So if you find your next tutti entry, which is 8 bars before the end of the piece, just the same thing. 1, 2, 1. Except we now go Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in excelsis. And we suddenly change for this final Hosanna at the end from our really kind of calm kittens and unicorns and fairies to this very bold fanfare like ba-ba-ba. Hosanna. I have a little glottal at the front of the Hosanna. Hosanna. Oh, so it's just got that little click just to get the punch that it needs. And of course it's the same as the beginning of the Sanctus. Sanctus, but it's completely different now. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna. Bright vowels, please. Hosanna, Hosanna. And then at the end, in egg, you know I like in egg shelsies. I can see that the chat is popping off about egg shelsies. I like eggshells, so that's what I would like for your recordings. I hope that's okay. In eggshell. And the way that we count this final top G is that we listen super duper carefully to the inner parts, to the altos and the tenors, who have in eggshell cease, eggshell cease. And you see that the first alto even has a final quaver to place before the final bar. Shell cease. And that's how we know. And the cease at the end is exactly 2 quavers long, please, exactly as printed. Cease, with a nice crisp S. Can we go from the first Hosanna, please? Hosanna. 1, 2, 3. Hosanna. 2. Hosanna. 2. Hosanna. In eggshell cease. Woohoo! What a finish. I had eggs for lunch as well, Anya. Lucky that, isn't it? So, there's the Sanctus. I think that is probably in pretty good shape for you. That was some really nice work to get all of those little details in, with that quite wild Hosanna at the end of all of that beautiful legato singing. So the next thing I'd like to do today actually is go to Et Vitam Ventori, the fast section of Et Resurrexit, and just do one playthrough with me, with the piano, slowly, just literally just one playthrough, just as a kind of hello again to that bit of music, and then we'll come back to the Agnus Dei. So we'll call it our tea break, and if you can find movement 10, but more importantly, it's halfway through there, so it's actually figure 42. Figure 42. I had poached eggs on mashed avocado, which is my favourite thing, on a bit of sourdough. Oh, it was tasty, everyone. It was tasty. Okay, so figure 42, please. Figure 42. Et vitam ventori. We are simply just going to go through this, just straight through. I'm not going to stop, but we're not going to go super duper quickly. So it's page 150 for me, figure 42. Okay, let's have a go, shall we? Just get into the right key after all of that. Okay. Under tempo is 1, 2. Et vitam ventori seculi. Amen. 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 2, 1. your tea break with Ellie. Have weird tea breaks, don't I? I hope that's useful, and I hope it's something that you can come back to as well. So once this live stream is finished, of course, you can just come back to find that bit and just sing through a little bit under tempo with me and just the piano, which I think is quite useful. So I'll leave that there for you. And we are now going to work on the Agnus Dei, as I said, which is, for me, on page 193. I have to say, when I sing all of those E's at the end, which is my least favourite note as an alto, I really feel for my neighbours, because they can't hear anything else, can they? All they hear is me singing the solo soprano line whenever, even if it's tutti, whatever. Oh well, they built a drive and did lots of drilling. So, the Agnus Dei, please, the Agnus Dei. Could you please find your first entry in the Agnus Dei? Now that is at the 2 bars before figure 50. 2 bars before figure 50. Dona nobis pacem. Something a little bit more relaxing. And we did this yesterday, of course, so everything still applies from yesterday. Sotto voce. It's really just like that kitten thing again. We get that huge miserere from Lorna, and we just say, Dona nobis pacem, Dona nobis pacem. We're far away, we're distant. However you kind of feel it, I think you should picture kind of where you are in relation to the soloist and how the sound is going to be different. It's got to feel far away and so on. Yes, everyone's saying I'm going to have new neighbours soon. Well, luckily we'll have finished the Rossini me screaming E's by then. On to Puccini next. I hope they like Puccini in my new place. Okay, so Dona nobis pacem, please, sopranos. Here we go. 3 and 4. Dona nobis pacem, Dona nobis pacem. So glorious, isn't it? So beautiful. It's so tender. I want you to feel like you're holding it here, and it's a crystal melody. The melody has been converted into this precious, precious crystal vase that's about this big, and if you drop it, then it's gone. Okay, so we're just going to sing this phrase kind of like ah. Okay, 3 and 4 and Dona nobis pacem, Dona nobis pacem. Oh, how beautiful, how lovely, lovely, lovely. Now everyone, let's skip on to your next entry. So we've got quite a bit of solo to go through first. Your next entry is 2 bars before figure 51. Fairly recognisable. Let's try that, shall we? 3 and 4 and Dona nobis pacem, Dona nobis pacem. Beautiful, beautiful. One more, one more. 3 and 4 and Dona nobis pacem, Dona nobis pacem. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So my new neighbour's going to hear us singing Bach on Sunday. Well, this is the thing. This is why I think it's so terrible for the neighbours, because they never hear you. They only, because everything's in my headphones, so all they hear is just me screaming all the time. They don't hear the keyboard, they don't hear the tracks, they just hear my voice. So sadly, no, they don't get to hear you. I wish they did. Then they'd think, oh right, Ellie's doing something useful, not just screaming to herself. Okay, Can we find your next entry, please? So this is diddly-diddly-doo. Is there a figure number? So it's annoyingly before figure 52, but quite a few bars. So if you find figure 52 and work backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's your next Donna nobis parcem. We're back to the B. Donna no. Okay. 3 and 4 and Donna nobis pacem, Donna nobis pacem, and 1, qui tollis, and 1 and 2, peccata, and 1, peccata. Okay, and I'm just going to stop there for now, okay? I know that people were talking yesterday about finding the rhythm a little bit difficult because it's in a slow 4, such a slow 4 that in fact I basically do it in 8. So it's really worth either striping the beats down, or if you need to, 1 and 2 and whatever works for you. But just make sure that you know where the notes fall within the bar. Plus, I don't know about your edition, but my edition kind of stretches the bars out. They become bigger and bigger and harder to read, harder to quickly sight read, which is frustrating. So when we're going to just do these phrases again, the bars that we just sang, as well as feeling where the beats are, we can show that in our sound. So we can have qui tollis, 1 and 2, peccata, peccata mundi. So we're really leaning into the Latin and the words that are going to have the biggest kind of stress, and the ones that therefore also come on the beat, luckily. So qui tollis, peccata, peccata mundi. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So let's try this phrase again. Back to the beginning of your Donna nobis, as this one is an elongated one, isn't it? Okay, 3 and 4 and Donna nobis pacem, and Donna nobis pacem, and 1, qui tollis, 1 and 2, peccata, and 1, peccata mundi. Great, and we'll just lightly phrase. In fact, will we lightly phrase off? Am I talking rubbish? No, we won't actually. The final mundi, we won't be phrasing away this one because the alto soloist is kind of going off on one at that point. So actually it makes more sense that we almost crescendo even at the end of mundi to really support Lorna through changing the character there. Now, one thing to notice about about pitching is that as we finish this phrase, those 3 notes need to be quite bright. They are likely to just plop a little bit lower than they should go. Keep the semitones small there. Keep them stacked small, okay? Can we just have that final bar? Peccata, 3 and 4 and 1. Peccata mundi. Lovely. Now this is still all kind of sotto voce really. We haven't really made a big statement yet as the choir, but that is coming, okay? So let's move on to your next entry, which is 2 bars later, Donna nobis pacem. The bars get bigger and bigger, don't they? For me, this bar takes up 1 whole page. It's huge. So Donna nobis pacem is now fortissimo. Anna was reading the solo part. There's a trap. Yes, it might be one of those where you want to just put a star next to your line to follow it through. There's not any really issues with that in this piece, are there? But in this final movement there are. So Dona nobis now, fortissimo, and finally the choir are kind of very present now. We're very here. We're quite, again, it's not aggressive, is it? It's, thinking of the word. Intense. It's an intensity for this fortissimo. It's very loud and it's very intense. Let's hear your Dona nobis pacem. So I'll give you 3 and 4 and 1 do. Okay? 3 and 4 and 1. Dona nobis pacem and 2. Qui tollis 1 and 2. Peccata and 1. Peccata mundi. And this mundi is exactly the same, please. There's no need to phrase away. We can kind of almost mini crescendo. Mundi. Okay. Of course, that final few bars are exactly the same as the bit we've just been working on. So we can have the same stresses. Qui tollis peccata. Okay. But let's have a look at that Dona nobis pacem just before that, the big fortissimo one. We're going to find this intensity, we're going to find this huge sound, and sopranos, it's quite low for you in your register, you know, it's very, almost alto-y really. So if you can kind of switch into alto mode for this moment, Dona nobis, quite operatic actually, for this entry. Here we go, 3 and 4 and 1. Dona nobis pacem and change. Qui tollis 1 and 2. Peccata 1. Peccata mundi. Great. Now we kind of set the alto soloist up to go again, and off she goes. Miserere, 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 hey, figure 52. Boof. And this is the big moment. We suddenly land on this lovely E major. And you're on that lovely major third. Dona nobis. So now on a G sharp, of course. Notice the key change. Dona nobis. Let's try this from figure 52. Is 3 and 4 and 1. Dona nobis and Dona nobis 1. Dona nobis pacem. And I've written tram lines there to bring us off, because we're going to sing right to the end. Chem off. So it's real 3 quavers worth of sound without any phrasing away. Bam, bam, bam. You know, this is to me I don't know, for me it's like the end of La Traviata if you're into your Verdi operas. I don't know why, but it just is in my head. So, pacem. And we're going to have the moment there, please, okay? So figure 52, please, figure 52, the G sharp. 3 and 4 and 1. Dona nobis and Dona nobis 1. Dona nobis pacem. Yes. Now, just at figure 52, these semiquavers, Dona nobis, Dona. Can you give each one a little weight? Dona nobis, pa pa pam. So it feels, again, like I was saying earlier, like each of the notes takes a lot of weight, it takes energy to sing. Dona nobis, Dona nobis. And we're going to do the end of nobis in exactly the right place as written. So it's 1. dona nobis, dona nobis, and so on, okay? One more time, please, from figure 52. This is the big moment. This has got to be the culmination of the whole piece, hasn't it? Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1. Dona nobis, dona nobis, dona nobis pacem. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, great. Do you know what we're going to do now? We're going to sing through the whole of the Agnus Dei. This is with your voice part. Do you know what? Let's not do voice part highlighted because I want to hear Lorna in all her glory as well. So should we go for the tutti track, the beginning of the Agnus Dei? The beginning of the Agnus Dei. Here it comes.
Peccata mundi
sorry, well, sopranos, what a wonderful way to finish the course with you. But of course it's not over yet, because I will see you on Friday for our sing through of all of the choruses only, and then the next sing through we'll put in the solos as well. And then after that, it's over to you. I can't wait to hear it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully see you on Friday afternoon. Goodbye.